the way.
Good morning.
Morning, Claudia. Welcome to this Friday session. Good morning, Maria Fernanda.
Hi, teacher.
Hello. Finally, we have arrived at that very special day of the week, the last day before the weekend. Good morning, Amaya. Is Friday a good day for you, or just one regular common day of the 5? Because in my case, it's a good day to have at least some more time with the family and to do some things that are part of the household tasks that we're supposed to do, right? To fix things at home, to mow the lawn, right, etc., etc. So it is a good day, Friday, right? At least you have more time for yourself or to organize your things. I wanted to start the class with a Kahoot activity, and I would like to wait for some of the participants in this class, Sebastián, Jorge Díaz, Cristóbal Contreras, okay? And in order to have this activity as a review, the Kahoot activity is covering aspects of lexical stress, okay? So after the activity, we're going to revise the answers, see if you have some questions about the exercises provided in the Kahoot activity, okay? And then the focus of this lesson is on strong and weak forms, as you can see in the PowerPoint presentation that I'm sharing. Good morning, Sebastián. Okay, so that's the idea. The idea is that we're going to start this class with a review of lexical stress through an activity in Kahoot. And then we're going to review the answers after we cover all the items presented in the Kahoot activity. We're going to start with the strong and the weak forms. And you will see that the concept about the strong and weak forms is connected with stress, right? And it's also connected with rhythm in English, because as English is a lexical stress language, it has vowels in the different words have a very specific rhythmic pattern from stressed and unstressed syllables, right? Stressed and unstressed syllables. So that's why it's important to remember that the concept of strong and weak forms is connected with all that we have been covering before, okay? It's all interconnected. Well, I think, Sebastián, Maria Fernanda, Claudia, and Amaya are here. And then I was calling Cristóbal. Patricio's joining us. Good morning, Patricio.
Good morning. Sorry for the late.
All right, you sound a bit sleepy today. Is that so?
Yes.
No. All right. All right. So Patricio, and then I'm calling Cristóbal and Javier Jorge Díaz, but I'm going to go and check the code for the Kahoot activity that I was mentioning some minutes ago, okay? So let me share the other screen, the one that has the Kahoot activity. Let me include the sound this time. Okay, and I'm going to show you the code. Can you hear this? The song? Can you see the game pin? So Kahoot.it, right? Kahoot.it. That's a website. Already so said it's in the house, right? Claudia, Pato. We're about to start. Amaya. Okay, Maria Fernanda. We're about to start. Good luck, everyone. Well, that was very impressive. Excellent. Good job, guys. All right. All right, excellent. Congratulations to the one who achieved and made it to the podium. Now, there were very, very good elements or answers, right? And there are some in which I would say there is some revision to work with, right? Let me get out of this. Let me stop recording. And what about going through the answers and see if you have questions you may ask while reviewing them? Is that okay with you guys?
What is my house class is
Right. I was asking you if we could take a look at the each one of the items and see if let me see if I can share the Kahoot again. With the answers, right? Okay. Let me try. Okay, here we go. So this question says most two-syllable nouns and adjectives are stressed on the first syllable, right? And the answer was true, right? Most two-syllable nouns and adjectives. If you find, for example, a two-syllable noun like, for example, table, table is stressed on the first syllable. Heavy is an adjective. Heavy is a two-syllable adjective and it's stressed on the first syllable, right? Paper, right? Paper is also a two-syllable noun and it's stressed on the first syllable. So in general, that's why it says most of the two-syllable nouns and adjectives are stressed on the first syllable. Okay, so that's sort of a general rule. That's true. Okay, for example, the image jacket is a noun. Jacket has two syllables, right? The word jacket has two syllables, and the one stressed is the first syllable. Okay. The next one. What do these adjectives have in common? Clever, slender, right, and present. Clever, slender, and present. And there were many options here, right? And there were several statements that were correct. The second syllable is unstressed. Common, clever, slender. The second syllable is not prominent, right? So it's unstressed. The first syllable is CCVCC in terms of the syllable structure, right? But if you pay attention to the last one, present, you will see that the first syllable has consonant, vowel sound, consonant, and then there's the other syllable, right? And so this statement is false. The first syllable is closed. Yes, clev, right? Clev, v, ends in a consonant. So that's true. And they have two syllables. Clever, slender, present. They have two syllables, and that's easy to test if you consider how many vowels are in each one of them. Clever, slender, and present have two syllables, right? Therefore, two vowel sounds, therefore two syllables. Okay, so 3 out of 4 statements were correct in this one and the second one. In the next, please interrupt me at any moment if you have questions or comments, if you want to go back, okay? So we can make this more a little bit more interactive. Can Amaya Fonsalida read the question number 3, the one that says true or false, please?
All right.
Thank
What
you.
P, T, I, and G, social democracy and ideology, are stressed on the entrepreneurial theory, and is true.
And it's true. Thank you so much, Amaya. Exactly. If you have questions about this one, but I think all of them got it correct. We have ultimate, right? Ultimate, which is the last one. Penultimate, which is the previous one to the last one. And anti-penultimate, which is in the case of democracy, C would be the ultimate, penultimate, CRA, and MO would be the anti-penultimate. All of you got it correct. The next one says, for compound nouns, the stress is on the first part. For compound nouns, the stress is on the first part, in the first element, because the compound noun is composed by 2 elements. So the stress goes on the first one, the first part. That's true, right? For example, when you think about greenhouse, right? That's a compound noun, the place where people grow vegetables, right? And the stress is on the first element, greenhouse. If you say greenhouse, you're talking about the place where people grow vegetables, right? Herbs, plants, etc., etc. If you stress the second element, greenhouse, you're talking about a house which is or has been painted green, right? It could be any house painted green, not a place where vegetables are grown. Okay, so the stress should go on the first element for compound nouns. Okay. Number 5, if Cristobal Contreras could read it, please. Cristobal, I don't know if you were able to make it. I think you were not able to make it to the Kahoot activity,
Yeah.
but yeah, but you can listen. You can read the question number 5 aloud, please. Thank you.
Bad-tempered and old-fashioned are 2 compound adjectives stressed on the second syllable.
And the answer is true. Exactly, true. Bad-tempered, old-fashioned, and every time you find these compound adjectives that are usually hyphenated, they have a hyphen, right? Bad, hyphen, tempered, old, hyphen, fashioned, right? It's this second element of this compound, the one stressed, particularly if we count the syllables, 1, 2. It's the second syllable, the one stressed. Or if you prefer, the second element is stressed on the first syllable. But it's always tempered, fashioned, all right? And this has to do with the 2 positions in which adjectives are used, attributive and predicative position. Predicative position is when the adjective is used after the verb, after the verb. For example, the man is bad-tempered. The man is bad-tempered. I'm using this compound adjective after the verb is, right? So in that case, when I'm using this compound adjective after the verb, I'm using it in predicative position. Predicative position, right? As when we learned Spanish, right? We talked about predicado, which is, what comes after the verb. So in predicative position, but tempered, old-fashioned. That dress is very old-fashioned. Okay, that dress is, and then comes old-fashioned. So the man is bad-tempered, and that dress is very old-fashioned. In both cases, the compound adjective is used in a predicative position after the verb. Now, when you use this compound adjectives before the verb, they are used in attributive position. Attributive position, right, is this position in which you put the adjectives before the verb. In this case, before the noun, okay, before the noun. For example, a bad-tempered man, a bad-tempered man, an old-fashioned dress, an old-fashioned dress. So, if you are able to detect or identify the stress shift, instead of tempered and fashioned, I shifted the stress towards the first element, a bad-tempered man, an old-fashioned dress, right? A bad-tempered man, an old-fashioned dress. So I shifted the stress to the first element because the compound adjective is used in attributed position. Okay? So, summing up. But tempered and old-fashioned, in general, when you use them isolated, right? The stress is on the second element, tempered, fashioned, right? If you use them in predicative position, right, after the verb, you use them like that as well. But if you use them in attributive position, that is before the noun, you need to shift the stress to the first element. Bad-tempered man, old-fashioned dress. Okay? And here we have a bad-tempered woman. Or that woman is bad-tempered. Okay? That woman is bad-tempered, or she is a bad-tempered woman, right? Actually, the position has to do with the noun, right? If it goes before or after the noun. The next one has to do with this. The next one, and if Claudia could be so kind to read it aloud, please. Number 6, please. Thank you. Or if Jorge Diaz could read aloud the exercise number 6. I don't know if you had the time to participate in the Kahoot activity. I think you were not able to, Jorge. But could you read aloud number 6, please? The word is Japanese, right? Okay, I don't mind reading myself the exercise. It says, in terms of lexical stress, there is a stress shift here. Japanese teacher. And this is true. We have learned that in words like Japanese, Senegalese, Portuguese, right? In all these adjectives that end in "-ese", that specifically, in this case, are talking about nationality, the suffix attracts the stress. Right? Japan, Japanese. Portugal, Portuguese, right? Whenever legal, for example, legalese. Whenever we use this suffix, it is this suffix the one that attracts the stress, right? Now, if you use this adjective in in an attributive position. We have that Japanese is stressed on the last syllable, right? Japanese. But then teacher is stressed on the first syllable. Teacher, right? So in order to have this very rhythmical pattern of English from stressed syllable to an unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. We cannot have a stressed syllable like the last one of Japanese, and then another stressed syllable in teacher. So Japanese teacher is sort of not the normal or usual rhythmic pattern in English that goes from, stressed to an unstressed syllable in a very consistent pattern. Okay, so therefore, in order to keep this rhythmic pattern for this for English, which is lexical stress language, right? We have to move this stress, right? This primary stress to the first syllable. So instead of saying Japanese teacher, we say Japanese teacher, Japanese teacher. This word isolated is Japanese, but when you put it with the noun, right? Japanese, and if the noun has the first element stress, like teacher, right? You need to shift the stress to a previous syllable, right? It doesn't matter if you put a noun, another noun, not teacher, and in this case, the first syllable is not stressed. I mean, in that case, you keep the stress in the same syllable. All right, it's this succession of stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, that you cannot have two stressed syllables close to each other, near each other. Okay, think about the numbers ending in teen, like for example 13, 14, 15, 16, right? The stress goes on the last syllable, right? 13, 13, 14, right? But let's suppose that we put noun after, right? So say 13, and let's use the word, for example, the word people. People is stressed on the first syllable, right? People. So we cannot have 13 stressed on the last syllable and then another stressed syllable together. People, people. So instead of saying 13 people, we shift the stress of 13 towards the first syllable, and we say 13 people, 13 people, 14 people, 16 people, 16, 16 people. Okay, so this stress shifts to a different syllable, so you cannot have two syllables, two stressed syllables next to each other. Okay, now, as I said with Japanese, this happens only when the next word has the first syllable stress. If you have the second syllable stress, it doesn't matter because you would have the last syllable of Japanese stressed and then an unstressed initial syllable in the next word, and then the second syllable of the second element stressed. All right. I hope this is clear. If it's not clear, please let me know any questions that you might have. All right. This 7 is connected to a previous exercise. Blackbird and greenhouse are compound nouns, right? And blackbird and greenhouse are stressed on the second syllable, and that's false. we don't read these compound nouns as blackbird, greenhouse. If you say blackbird is any bird that is black, greenhouse, any house painted green. But these are specific compound nouns referred to a different thing, right? So blackbird, greenhouse, toothpaste, toothbrush, all these compound nouns, nouns made up of two elements, right, are stressed on the first syllable. It doesn't depend on the context. It doesn't depend on the speaker. It's the first element that needs to be stressed. Okay? For all compound nouns, such as blackbird, greenhouse. The exercise number 8 says understand and overflow are stressed on the first element, which is false, right? Understand and overflow are stressed on the second element, right? All these verbs that are composed by a preposition and a verb, under, over, on, in, all of these prepositions, whenever they are attached at the beginning, right, to the left of a verb, it's not the preposition which is not this particle, the one which is stressed. Is the verb, is the second element. Okay, understand, not understand. Overflow, not overflow. Okay, underestimate, underestimate, right? All right, the next exercise, number 9. The correct one is the first syllable. Television, television, right? Television, television, not television, not sorry, television, television, right? Is the first syllable, the one stressed. Television, okay? Television, television. It's good to add something like movement or a connection of this with a picture, the image of a TV set, right? Television, so you can connect the pronunciation with an image, right? Or with some movement. Television, so your memory has more elements to find in order to remember the concept, right? Always try to connect what you're learning with some kind of movement or some kind of image, so you remember what you're trying to learn. The number 10, for compound adjectives, the stress is on the second part, and this is true. The examples, this is connected with another exercise, like bad-tempered, and old-fashioned, right? Old-fashioned. Those two were compound adjectives, and the second element was the one stressed. So far, so good. Do you have any questions? Would you like to go back? Can we continue with number 11?
Yes.
Yes, to which option? Which
I
action?
mean, we can continue. So far, I'm okay. I'm understanding.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Guys, Jorge, Patricio, Sebastián, Claudia, Amaya, can we move on, or do we need to go back?
I think that we can move on.
Okay. Thank you. In number 11, this was a very tough one, right? Very, very tough one. In the sentence, there is a misprint on this document. The bolded word, the focus is on the word misprint, right? So is it stressed on the second syllable? No. Misprint is one of those words in which, sorry, the lexical stress is placed on the first syllable when it's a noun, and on the second syllable when it's a verb. Examples of these, we have convict and convict, suspect and suspect, import and import, export and export, and many others that I think I haven't. Okay, discount and discount, object and object. Can you see this website? I think I'm sharing a website.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Produce and produce. I don't know. Contrast and contrast. So whenever you are stressing the first syllable on these elements, on these words, we're using the element as a noun, and when you are stressing the second part, for example, in number 15, decrease would be the noun and decrease the verb. We have misprint and misprint, the verb. Insult, the noun, insult, the verb. So in number 19, there is a misprint in this document. Let's hope they didn't misprint our names in the report. Misprint is used as a verb in the second example, and there is a misprint in this case, in the first one, it is used as a noun. So misprint should be stressed on the first syllable, right? The first syllable is open. The word misprint is composed by, sorry, a prefix, mis, and a root, which is print, right? And so whenever you have a prefix, that's one syllable. Mis is one syllable. And okay, and the second syllable is light, print. Print is not light because print, if you focus on the number of consonant sounds, it's consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. And as whenever you have two consonants, either to the left on the onset or to the right in the coda, we're talking about a heavy syllable, right? A heavy syllable. The second statement says the first syllable is open, since we know that the prefix mis is the first syllable, right? The mis is not an open syllable because in order to be an open syllable, it should be it should end in a vowel sound and not a consonant. It should not have a coda to be an open syllable, right? So the first one is a closed syllable. All right. Number 12, this transcript is correct. This is a tough one because in general, people in general don't know how to pronounce the word pedagogy. Pedagogy is stressed on the first syllable. Pedagogy, that's the noun, pedagogy. Now, the adjective to refer to anything that has to do with pedagogy is pedagogical. Pedagogical, okay? Pedagogical. So pedagogical is stressed, right, on the third syllable. So the first one should not be counted as correct. The second one should not be counted as correct. Now we have the yellow one and the green one having the stress on the third syllable. Pedagogical, pedagogical, right? And we have this second syllable before the stressed one, right? Pedagogical. In general, before a stressed syllable, you have an unstressed syllable, right? Because English is this, lexical stress language in which you have stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. So there is a very high probability of having a reduced syllable or an unstressed syllable before a stressed syllable. In other words, there's a very high probability to find a schwa before a stressed syllable, as is the case of the green option. Pedagogical, pedagogical, pedagogical. Since the last syllable Also, it sounds like weak or reduced. There's also a very high probability to find a schwa there. So the correct option is the green one, the last one, pedagogical. And the last question.
Teacher,
Yes, ma'am.
I think you're right. Hmm.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
In the correct option and pedagogical, why the last syllable, sorry, has two vowels?
Because it's a mistake.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it. I'm getting the reflection from the sun, and I'm realizing that's a completely mistake. Let's see if I have it. I think that was one of the last. Yes, I have it right here. Okay, so the word should have been divided. If you compare this pedagogic right here, pedagogic. This is the last syllable, pedagogic, ik. So for pedagogical, the last syllable should have been divided as schwa and That should have been the last syllable in the case of pedagogical. Okay, so it's a mistake. This should have been separated into ik and ul. Very good eye. Very, very good comment. Okay, my apologies for this one. And
Okay.
alrighty. And the last one, what do the words ambition, curiosity, and sufficient have in common? They have three syllables: ambition, curiosity, and sufficient. Ambition has three. Sufficient has three, but curiosity has four. The stress falls on the syllable before the ambition. Yes. Curiosity. Yes. Sufficient. Yes. The stress falls on the syllable before the suffix. The first syllable is open. The first syllable is open. No. The first syllable is not open because we have a coda. We have a consonant sound after the nucleus, therefore it's closed. Ambition. So we discard the yellow option. There is no schwa in any of the words. That's almost impossible. Whenever you have a two or a three or a four syllable word, you will always find schwas because schwas are like cockroaches. Schwas are like grass. I mean, you can find grass anywhere, right? Schwas are like, imagine something that you see everywhere, right? Whatever it is, love, compassion, grass, bugs, something that is like always present, omnipresent. So schwas are omnipresent, right? If you find a two, a three, if you find a four-syllable word, they are always going to be present. Because whenever you have unstressed syllables, there's a very high probability to find a schwa or a short lex e, right? So ambition, shun, is not stressed. Sufficient, right? The first one is not stressed. So curiosity, you see? So that's why there is, I mean, the last option, the green option, is almost impossible to have it as correct, right? That was the revision of the Kahoot activity. I'm going to leave this link in the LMS for you to take a look at it again if you want to take it again as a challenge, all right? And for you to see again if you understood, and you can test yourself, right? We are going to take a break now, okay? Unless you have comments or questions. After the break, we're going to review the PowerPoint that has to do with strong and weak forms, okay? Strong and weak forms, I would say, is not difficult to understand. Strong and weak forms, we have to actually focus on the weak forms because strong forms take care of themselves, right? It's the weak forms, right, that we need to take care of. And that's something that we're going to be discussing right after the break, okay? So enjoy your break. It's going to be sort of a, 10-minute break. And I'll see you to discuss and go over these two concepts, all right? Strong forms and weak forms. Okay, so we're having a break now. If you're okay with that, I'll see you in about 10 more minutes.